today was not what I expected my first video of 2018 to be. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel Kazzalistic, and hi to my new subscribers. Thank you very much for joining me. If you are new to the channel, this video will not be my usual type of video, so please don't let that put you off, and I will be resuming my normal schedule next week. So as I've said in the introduction, this video is not one that I was expecting to make at the beginning of 2018. I apologise if I get upset, but grief is grief no matter who you're grieving for. So I've had a difficult start to the year. It wasn't quite the start to the year that I was hoping for, but we lost one of our dogs yesterday, literally 26 hours ago, so this is all still very raw for me, but I wanted to record it as part of my grief process. I know that a lot of you have lost pets and you know what it's like, and also I just wanted to be able to start next week and get back into my normal schedule and get back into normal life and move forward. So this really is just an update video, because I know some of you have been wondering where I've been this week, why I didn't upload at the beginning of the week like I had planned and I said I would do. Life has completely it's been one event after the other since the start of the year. So on Tuesday we had engineers out. We were having problems with our central heating on the run up to Christmas. They'd already been out a couple of times to try and do a repair, which had failed. One of our radiators wasn't working. So they came out again on Tuesday, and it turned out they had to bleed the whole system. There was an airlock through the whole system, which they did. During that time I was also trying to take decorations down, and Storm Eleanor, I think it was called, also hit. So by about 1:30 it was pretty much pitch black where I live, so and I normally record about lunchtime, so it was too dark for me to record anyway, and I was in the middle of trying to get decorations down from Christmas. As you'll see, it's all gone from behind me now, and of course I had two workmen here, so we were all tripping over each other and it was a bit stressful. They fixed the system, they went, and then a short while later we tried to run hot water and realised that there was none. I checked the boiler and we had no pressure. So I had to call them out again. Thankfully that was an easy fix. They just hadn't checked the pressure, and they should have done. They were young lads and both apprentices, so it's part of their learning course. So that was how my week started. So it was a little bit eventful. I knew that the video was going to be going potentially up late, but I was planning to do it on Thursday. So this is my point of my video. So the reason why I didn't record on Thursday, mine and my mum's oldest dog, she's a chocolate Labrador called Bella. Lots of you will remember before Christmas we'd had to rush her to the vets, and she was diagnosed with arthritis in her front right leg, and she was given a medicine called Metacam, which is like an ibuprofen type medication, so it's anti-inflammatory and pain relief, and she improved. She was quite content. She was stopped groaning because she had been groaning a little bit in pain. And she seemed a lot brighter and back to her old self. I also apologise for this one, she's obviously picking up on my emotions. Anyway, sort of Wednesday evening, she was starting to groan a little bit. Not profusely, but a little bit, and my mum expressed she was concerned. So I went over on Thursday to sort of see for myself, and by Thursday morning she was groaning quite a lot. She was kind of and whining in between, and it was just constant. She was also by that point completely lame on her front right leg. She wasn't weight bearing at all, not even onto the tips of her paw, so she wasn't even doing that, just holding it up, and it was sort of hanging, which is not like her at all. So I rang the vets, made an emergency appointment for that late afternoon, because it was as soon as they could fit us in. And they saw her, they manipulated her head and sort of made her do up and down and left and right to make sure there was nothing wrong with her spine, which there wasn't. She felt the leg and said there was tenderness obviously through the leg, which we kind of knew already. She checked her paw, she sort of nipped her paw and she yelped. So we knew that she hadn't lost sensation. So we knew it wasn't nerve damage. So they recommended an x-ray. And they had recommended this when she was first diagnosed with arthritis, but the vet was very confident at that point that it was arthritis, so it wasn't an absolute necessity at that point. And my mum's a pensioner, I'm a carer, so neither of us are hugely flush with money. So at that point we decided against the x-ray. Maybe with hindsight that was a mistake, I don't know. Anyway, the vet recommended an x-ray this time because they had said if she was to worsen after the arthritis diagnosis that it could indicate that there was something sinister. So we made the decision to do the x-ray. Obviously this is all, any of you that are in the UK that have used vets will know this is all extortionately expensive stuff. So she was given an opioid injection, so kind of tramadol, sort of morphine type injection, and she was also given a tablet to take at 11 o'clock at night to give her pain relief through the night on Thursday night. And yeah, so that's why I didn't get to record on Thursday. And then basically she cried all night. She only slept for 20 minutes. The opioid did nothing for her pain whatsoever, and if anything it was escalating. I went back over on Friday morning and she was clearly in more pain than she'd been in the day before. I'd also Thursday night had a dream that she would have to be put to sleep. I do have kind of premonitions dreams sometimes. It's happened a few times in my life. Always freaks me out when I do, but it is what it is. So I kind of had a hunch of what was coming. She's 12 and a half. The average lifespan for a Labrador is about 12 to 14, so she was in the expected zone, so to speak. So we rushed her in at 8:30 in the morning. As soon as they were open, we took her in as early as we could to ensure that she could get some pain relief, and also the sooner we got her in, the sooner we would know, and we can make decisions about how best to care for her. So we dropped her off. And about midday yesterday we got the phone call. I took the call from the vet, and they found what looked like cancer in her humerus, which is the top bone in her front right leg. It was near the joint. They did x-ray both sides. There was very slight signs that potentially her left leg was going as well. So she was still under sedation at that point. And so it was recommended that we euthanize her, put her to sleep. So we asked if there was enough time to get there where she would still be under sedation, because obviously sedation meant she was sleeping, so she wasn't in pain. And they agreed if we could get there fairly quickly that we could be there. So we got there as quickly as we could, and my mum and I were shown the x-rays. It wasn't terribly obvious on the scans from a non-specialist point of view, but you could see there was a difference in the bone colour, and they did explain it all beautifully. The woman was very kind, very patient, and did take her time. She didn't rush us. She then took us through to the room where Bella had been x-rayed, and they'd got her laying on a big cushion, the blanket over her, and she was just laying asleep. So basically she gave us a chance to say goodbye and gave her the anaesthetic injection. I put my hand over her nose so I could feel she was still breathing, and also so that she would be able to smell it was me. And Mum was stroking her as well. And she went very quickly, and I'm very thankful that it wasn't long and drawn out. Of all the dogs we've put to sleep, it probably was the most peaceful death that there's been. So, needless to say, Mum and I are both devastated. I've loved all my dogs that we've had over my lifetime. We've always had dogs, pretty much almost from the moment I was born. We've always had dogs and cats, and but for me, Bella was particularly special. She was an extraordinary dog. She's very intuitive with how I felt, and when we first got her, it was about 2.5 months after I'd lost my nana, who had raised me, so it was like losing a parent, and Mum and I were kind of grappling in the dark of a way to find a way through the grief 12 years ago. And we got Bella. She was 6 months old. We bought her off people that were going to breed her. There were a lot of dogs, and the circumstances she was in were not good. And the vet, because we kept her at the same vet all her life, because she quite liked the vet. She's a bit of a strange dog. She didn't mind going. And the vet actually said to my mum when she first took her in for her inoculations that she'd had a very lucky escape. Basically they were going to use her as a breeding machine, but because her original breeder had put a clause on her kennel club registration that they could not register any puppies with the kennel club. I think she obviously realised what kind of people they were. It meant that her puppies would have been worth nothing on the breeder market. So we basically saved her. We had her spayed and we had no intention of breeding her. Mum does have other dogs, and she basically has mothered them. So she didn't need to have her own puppies. She kind of looked after the other dogs that we've had. And she came into our life as a complete whirlwind, basically. Chocolate Labradors, we knew about Labrador breed, we knew about our breed, but what we didn't realise was that the chocolate ones are far more energetic than the yellow or black ones. They are renowned for being a little bit loopy. So this complete nutcase came into our home, was running figures of 8 around the mum's home and the garden. My mum's garden's massive, and she could run up and down that garden in a matter of like a couple of seconds. It was like a bullet out of a gun. And I think for both of us, she helped us grieve. She helped us look forward and move forward, which is what my nana would have wanted. So she helped us through that. And then when I had my breakdown, both her and our cat, we lost our cat last year, they would both come and lay on my bed with me when I couldn't get out of bed when I was really ill. She knew, and she looked after me, and again she helped me to move forward and get better. And she saved my life not once but twice. So she was extra special, extra extraordinary on the dog front for me. She brought so much joy into our lives, and there's a piece of my heart that's been ripped out in the last 24 hours that I'm never going to get back. I'm just glad that she's not suffering. I know that we made the right decision. But I have lots of good memories. So one of the funniest things she ever did, and I was the only one that actually witnessed this, was once in my mum's living room. I was actually living at home with my mum at the time, and Bella passed wind, and normally with her it would be silent but deadly, and on this particular occasion it was very loud, kind of and it was so loud she actually shocked herself and swung around and looked at her bum, jumped up and ran off. She scared herself that much, and it was really funny to see. So that's one of my happiest memories of her. She also loved the snow, so you could make little snowballs and chuck them up in the air and she would catch them and eat them. She loved the snow. We don't get snow very often where I live, but she did get to experience it a few times and she loved it. She loved her walks. Labradors need a lot of walking, are very high energy, and Mum and I between us have walked miles and miles with her. And whilst my mum was ill the first half of last year, I did actually walk her, and that turned out to be the last time that I walked her, and she bounced up the road. She was so happy that I was walking her, so that's another good memory that I will obviously treasure. There's just so many things that she's done, so many people in my life that she's affected. She was a remarkable dog, and I'm very lucky to have had her in my life. It's needless to say my mum and I are both devastated. I did sleep last night for the first time in a few nights, mainly out of exhaustion. I know my mum had a bad night last night, so my mum's very tired. And it's going to be a difficult couple of weeks going forward. We still have to bury her, so that will be in a couple of weeks' time. So we get her ashes back. So we still have some tough stuff to do. We've paid off half the bill, but we still have a lot of money to find as well. So there's going to be some struggles in the next couple of weeks. I'm not probably going to talk about this again, but I just wanted you to all know why I haven't been around this week. I'm okay. It's obviously still very raw. It's been 24 hours, so yeah, so that's it for today. I'm sorry it's so long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag on the end of this video some photos of my girl, so you get a little bit of an idea what she's like. It doesn't fully envelop her character, but at least you will get to see her and see what I'm talking about. So if you know you're going through a similar experience at the moment, my heart goes out to you. I know a lot of you do understand where I'm at right now. Pets are part of your family, so it's like losing a family member. So yeah, so I'm a bit sad, but don't worry, it's not going to trigger my depression off. I'm very determined that I'm going to move forward, because that's what Bella always helped me do. So I'm going to end it here and leave you with some photographs. My next video will be a tag video that Terry from the Yarn Joy podcast has tagged me in, which is some questions that I'm going to answer. And then next week I will put up, I'll start doing crochet. As you appreciate, I haven't really had a chance to crochet hardly at all this week, so I need to sit and just sort of be with myself and crochet. So that's it for today, and I will see you in the next video. So until next time, remember to stay true to yourself. Bye.